Hi guys, it's the 4th of November and anyone that's in the UK is absolutely hanging at the minute still. Plenty of rain. Autumn is definitely upon us. And I'm just going to flip you around and show you the main pond while I'm here. I'm about to go down to the greenhouse and have a look at the koi today, make sure they're okay, go and clean the filters out. And then tomorrow I might get the bubble wrap up, but we will see. So I just thought the pond, everything is off like it would be feeding. This pond's doing great. There's an ornament that's dropped off and broken. The water temperature is 10.1 degrees. Oh god. Oh, it's a grim time. Next few months, shit. But anyway, Chagoy still wanted some food. They're all looking good, no sores on them. This one is looking like it's recovering now, even though it's got a bit of, I can never pronounce it. It's called SOPG or something, Sophagegia, something like that, like a greeny fungus on the top of it. Look, so I could do with cleaning that off. But apart from that, everything's looking good. The lilies have now gone to sleep. Let me just give this a nudge just to get rid of some of this food that's left in the bottom of this, because it's not going to get filled back up again now. And then the koi might actually finish it off, no doubt. But the water is really clear. That's really clear at the minute. So yeah, what I need to do, one of the jobs that I've got to do on here, these colours are nice at this time of year though, the Acer and the wisteria, and yeah, going off topic there, but yeah, I've got to put the pond balls on. So they are down the side of my cabin there, as you can see, and they've been well watered and weathered this year, so they'll be clean to go on. And I think I bought myself a coffee. Oh, missing. I'll just go in here and see what is occurring. The fish have got spooked in here, look, you can see where the water's moved, so they must have been up to the surface. So this is ready for a clean out now, this filter. There's the Shiro. And then if everything's okay, yeah, no dramas. This is lovely and clear again now, as you can see guys. It got green quite quick, so I thought, right, the UV has come back on. I put the UV back on this one, so the Evo 25 is back on. And this filter, guys, my video on November the 4th, if you check it out, is purely on stripping down this Pondtech pressure filter and putting in a new filter medium in there. And I've got to say, since that, it's absolutely performed brilliant. I've got to say, the muck is far less, and if we look in here, it's there we go. This is working a treat. I did actually take this drawer out again, and I put I got my scissors and I made bigger holes in there, which I've already said, I think, on another video, made that bigger so there's not as much water holding the bottom of this tray. And I might do that when I can be arsed on these other trays, but that's not going to be today. So this has been in now a good few days, and it is catching, as you can see, a good bit of debris. And what I said would happen, it's dropping on and rolling down the muck, look. So it's creating more on the actual pad, and all this is here as well, which is great. It hasn't got the filter pad in because that just blocks too clear. I'm just going to use that when I clean the filter out. I'll just put that layer on for an hour or two, and then just catch when I disturb the water or things like that. So yeah, these are looking good. The water in here is 12 at the minute. Its minimum has been 12, so the temperatures are dropping, which is not great. There's just some DOCs, dissolved organics, in the water from the fine particles coming off the air bubbler jobby. And yeah, the water, as you can see, let me drop back so I'm in the daylight. Back to clear again, getting back to where it was. It really has cleared up. There's nothing, the bottom of this pond, I've got to say guys, the turnover and everything, I've got it absolutely spot on. It just really is collecting. I thought I'd have solids and all sorts in here, and it's just not happening. It's just the turnover and everything is bang on. I've turned the turnover down as well. That's below the surface now. So on that note, it's just going to be a case of it's going to be a case of, look at the muck in there, it's well due. Well, I say well due, it's not dropped, the water level's not dropped a lot in there, so it could go a bit longer, but I'm not. The water level is quite high, so yeah, it's going to be a clean and a bit of a water change, and then I'll do that one because it only takes me 30 seconds to a minute, and that's jobs are good in. Look at that lot, look at that lot. So yeah, things are going well. It's just, the ginger is going great. Look at this ginger, it's been marvellous, but it's not warm enough, so it's the wrong time of year really that I'm doing it. So I'm just trying to keep it not too wet and keep it just ticking over. And yeah, light's doing all right as well. So just the bubble wrap now. So shame we can't see these much, but yeah, case of what I do, pump off first to see if the water level will go up, because you want it above this. Oh, I've got to put the pipe in. Oh, I'm a bugger for that, I'm a bugger for that. I can get it bloody in. What's wrong with her? That's odd. Well, that's it. Got it in the hole, she cried. Anyway, turn the slide valve off, and then lift that up, put that on there. I've got them wedges in there so the media don't come up. Put the bubble on. Just needs a bit more water in there. There we are. I'll have to top it up with a nose. I'll top it up with a hose in a minute, and then I'll clean that as well. And then there's not a lot to report this guys, is there? It's that time of year where there's not an awful lot going on, unless you're growing corn, you've got a heater going on. I did actually get buds back in here, and I did have the heater out to see how I could fit it in here to this 2K pond, get it back on there. And I was going to fit it, but I've not got my head around it yet, because I'd have to have it. I was going to drop the pump down horizontal and then stick the heater straight on, great, but then the outlet would be here, and then it's getting the pipe back up onto this. So I suppose that could then be spun this way, but then it's getting back onto these connectors here. So in essence, I'll show you, that would technically be like that on a bit of a, on some of this material to get it all in the same, and then I could spin that around this way. So I would assume, looking at that depth, it would be coming across here, and then I'd have to, I think that's a hose tail there, So yeah, I've been looking at sort of 1.5" fittings. Could do the 90 coming up, straight up, and another 90 onto the end of that. But yeah, but then it's going to take up quite a bit of space. So how would I then get, you know, to this filter to maintain that, and so on and so forth? And I've not got the fittings, so I just kind of, I didn't end up doing it. I was going to kind of mackle it up and get a flexible hose. So come up onto this, snake it around, and put the flexible hose straight into there, and then just spin that down so it's only a temporary fit for winter, and then come spring when you don't need it, take that away and then just pop that back in. Take this section out, obviously now, get the flexible hose onto there, and then, like I say, when I don't need it, take it away, and then just put this pipe back in and put the pump straight pointing back up. And then I've got to put off, because what I did want to heat that, I basically decided, I thought, right, I'm having the heater on, just, it's worth it, because there's a tow sign there, 24cm Shiro and some smaller fish. I just thought if it cost me a few £100 over winter, 200 quid, 300 quid over winter, then so be it. It's worth it. That was my methodology at the time. So I got the heater out, trying to find fittings. I thought, yeah, I'm gonna whack it in, just plug the plug in, job done, easy. But it didn't quite work out, and I've not found the fittings since, and I've kind of not done it. So yeah, so that's what I'm looking at. And then I started looking at different, then I got this slide valve, sorry, this valve, it's meant to be, I thought it was 2 inch, and it's not, because I was going to disconnect this and put this in. I suppose I still could, actually, looking at it, because I could, I'll get wet, I don't want to drain the pond down. But I could turn that off, which that would leak, and then disconnect that, and basically disconnect this very, very quickly, pull it all out. I mean, the pressure on that would be immense, and then get that on and tighten it up. But because I'm a plumbing and heating engineer by trade, so I've kind of done things like that in the past with heating pipe work and water pipe work and stuff, and I would get very wet, but I'd be confident enough to tackle that live without draining the old pond down. But again, so these are the things which is putting me off getting that done this year. So yeah, on that note, I don't know. And anyway, so, that doesn't look like it's doing an awful lot when it's on. But if you look now, I've turned that on and the air's been diverted, you can see it does create quite really, really fine bubbles. You can get a good look at the fish when you've got the air off and stuff. It's a good opportunity. I've got another Engbird thermometer there, which is working well, which I've mentioned in this video. See if the fish come close up so I can have a good look at them. It's an opportunity while you're in there having a coffee and stuff like that, just to make sure if any have got sores on them, like that one from the pond syndrome, whether they're getting lighter. And that is getting lighter, as you can see yourselves. It's not looking as harsh and brutal. I've got one on the other side, so I want to have a look on that. Yeah, and on that side it's lighter as well. It's not as spread, it's smaller, so that's obviously doing well. I think what I'll do while I can is just put my, just see with this what percentage of salt is in there. I think that's the right setting, can't quite see, but See, no, that's not the right setting. It will be just under 0.3, I think. The display on this is absolutely crap. You have to kick it down at an angle, look. That's not right, that's PPT, I think. BPM. That's it. 0.23. 0.23%, that's on in a minute. So that's that salt is. So the salt is reducing naturally from cleaning the filter out every week and the water dropping and filling it back up again. So by the time spring that will have dissipated. And there's the koi. Let's have a. So yeah, they're doing well. Cannot grumble. They're just not going to grow much. It's not going to grow much this time of year. Very wary of me at the minute because obviously the water's quite clear and here they come. I love the Benny on this shower. Just coming under view now. See they're following the Achiba. The Achiba's the very brave one. I'll just give this a knock. I've got to get this colour food used up. The actual feeder is still turned off, it's not been on all week. So yeah, just got to clean that out and then that's done. There's not a lot of content this time of year, so if you have got any ideas, let me know. I will still try and push a video out every week, just so you can follow like a diary type of thing. And yeah, hit the like button. Come coming up as soon as your back's to. Start coming up, look. So if I try and get my distance. So at 12 degrees they're still feeding, but it's not high nitrogen, it's not high protein or anything like that. It's the Kenko colour food, 37%. And yeah, they're happy. The pool is doing great, I've got to say. Happy days. The only downside with this pool is it's difficult to insulate. I say difficult to insulate. I suppose if I had the net straight on, I could put polycarb over the top and wrap in bubble wrap, or build a frame round and stuff it with bubble wrap, if you wanna, you know. So yeah, there they are. So they're looking good. So this one, that's a Momotaro shower from Gatwick Koi that I bought smaller. That's grown, put some good body on it. But again, that could do with some heat. It's what they all could in an ideal world. But I've not got it. But I've not got it. See you on the next one. God, it's frustrating this time of year. Really is, especially the next few months. Hope you're all okay. See you on the next one. So, I got the bubble wrap done. That was an absolute pain in the backside. It was a bit nervy. I had a trestle here. I had some scaffolding boards over the pond onto the timber on the back there. And I was up putting this up. It was quite awkward because obviously it was quite high. So I couldn't stand straight up. But anyway, I went across. It was 1.2. Went across and I've gone across to here. And as you can see the join there and an overlap. Back down and then another one and another one, and I've not done the sides yet. So it's definitely having a bit of an impact, not massive amount, because you can see here it's condensation, but then it's not as bad up high. Now I don't know if it's going to work or not. Looking behind it in places, it was difficult because even though it's thick bubble wrap, it's not massively, you know, thick and rigid. So as you can see, there is still condensation up there. So I don't know. I don't know. It cost me £47 for a roll of 50 metres, and I may well have wasted the money. I don't know. But anyway, it's up. It is kind of out of sight, out of mind, sort of, but it's not as dry behind there as I was hoping, I've got to admit, because it's very difficult to get it really tight and so on and so forth. So but it's up now, and it's up now, so it's very difficult to let's have a look. I'm going to get up there. So this is it with nothing in place. Quite, you know, very, very condensated, as you can see. And then here is obviously where it's closed off, and as you can see, it's still got condensation behind there. It's just a little bit slower. So I was hoping that it was going to cause a bit of a curtain. But anyway, I don't know. And the reason I put it up anyway is because it took my light out, because it got drips of water on it, but that's not there anymore anyway. So I don't know. I'm going to see. I'm going to leave it up there hopefully this winter, leave it up for summer, because it's just surprising how much shade it produces. And I suppose what I can do now is let it build up on there, and then it might drip on and then run down. I'll have to see. So anyway, not as successful as I thought. This is doing great. I've not been in here for a good day. These fish were in here. The water clarity is mint. The water clarity is really good in here now. Look, as you can see, back to what we'd expect for a pond. So the pond syndrome, if you want to call it that, is obviously done and dusted now. So the nitrite was still 0.25. The water, the feeder's off now. I'm just coming in once a day and just putting just a few pellets in, just to get rid of the Kenko colour food. They're all doing well. I can tell on some of them the actual pigmentation is changed. It must be the colour food. You can just see it on the fucra, the edge of the kiwa, or in the layers. And the water temperature now is 10.8. 10.8. So it's actually at now the point where my heaters are kicking in. So what I'm going to do this year, and I didn't do this last year, I'm going to monitor the water temperature at 10.8 and monitor the internal temperature, and in here now that's saying it's 9. So my heaters, I want to maintain the temperature it is now. So the ambient temperature is around about 9 degrees in here, 10 degrees, and then maintain that. And then the heaters will maintain that 10 degrees in this area here, so the ambient temperature of the pond water should be the same. So let's just have a look. This light's doing well. Yeah, 10.3, and that's saying 10.8. .6, 0.3 degree difference. I don't know why. I think it's because this is a bigger surface area, so over time it loses temperature quicker than this one, where it's got a smaller surface area. Obviously this is this is obviously a 10-foot diameter surface area. So yeah, this actually, it got water in to the actual lens, so it must have got, it's gone in obviously through the back and over the front, so it obviously weren't a good idea by myself really using that. Canners are starting to grow again. But yeah, it's a bit of a quiet time of year. Crap. I really wished I was heated. It would be lovely to have this at 24 degrees now for a couple of months, get some growing out of them, but anyway, I'm not going to waffle on about that anymore. So, there's a little update. It's only 5 to 5. 5 to 5. November the 8th. And yeah, it feels cold. I think it's only about 10 degrees out here today. Just going clear now. The weather's been a bit on and off. I've got used to the lights now and around the main pond. I'm really liking the ambience on there, and the fish seem to like it. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but it don't seem to spook them, and they really have seemed to be settled with it. So we'll have a quick look at the outdoor pond. Here we go. It's just on green at the moment, gone to like a lighter colour. Daddy, oh mate, there's my little dog. Come on, okay. Can't see him, it's that dark. So there's the fish here. Happy, doing well. Like I say, the ambience of these colours, they really seem to be calm with it. So it makes me feel better, I suppose, that they've got a bit of light, and it does make the garden just, yeah, seem quite inviting, especially when you sort of in the conservatory looking out. Really nice. So on that note, see you later. Hope your ponds are doing great, and hope whatever you're doing is going well as well.